In this episode, we'll have a look at the Sanken CSS-50, which is a stereo shotgun microphone. Now, the first question you might ask yourself, shotgun that's stereo? Isn't that a little unusual? And the answer is yeah, it's a little different. But this is the Sanken CSS-50, incredibly versatile microphone. Let's have a listen and a look. Now, who is this microphone for? I think really it's meant to be used in a variety of different situations. You can do stereo recordings with it with a left and a right channel. To do that, there is a 5-pin XLR connector, which allows you to get two signals out, left and right channel. And then, of course, you run that into whatever recorder you may have and record the two channels separately. And then you can mix them in post, of course. To get them out, there is a 5-pin XLR. You use an adapter that allows you to go to two 3-pin XLR, and then you can take that into most recorders or cameras. One note I'd like to make here before we move on, you don't have to record in stereo to get a final product or final video that is stereo, true stereo. So most major motion pictures, a lot of the sounds, and including the sound effects, are actually recorded in mono. Certainly the dialogue is recorded in mono. Then what they do is in post, they mix it, and they can move those different mono signals around within a surround type of field to give you the surround effect. So it's not as if you have to record stereo to get that effect in the end, but if you want to record it stereo for whatever reason, this is a great option to do that. Let's take a quick tour. First of all, it is 21.5 centimeters long, which is pretty standard. A lot of short shotgun microphones are kind of in that range. In terms of its diameter, it is 22 millimeters, which is a little bit wider than some, but still small enough to fit into most accessories like shock mounts. The microphone comes with a foam wind cover, and it comes in this foam case, which is all quite nice. The adapter cable to go from 5-pin XLR to two 3-pin XLR is actually extra, does not come with the microphone, just so you're aware. Sennheiser makes a nice one that's actually made for mid-side recording, which is another form of stereo recording, and I'll leave a link for that down below if you're interested. In terms of weight, it comes in at 160 grams, which is very typical, again, for this type of microphone. For reference, the Rode NTG2, if you're familiar with that, it is 161 grams, so they're almost identical. There is a recessed switch on the body of the microphone that allows you to go from mono mode to what they call normal mode, which is a stereo mode, and then also to wide, which is a wide stereo mode. So we'll give you some samples of that in just a minute here. So first of all, let's give you a little sample here. This is me recording in mono mode into the Sanken CSS-50. We're recording here with the sound device is 633 mixer recorder, and we're using timecode, so we'll sync this up in post to my camera, which also has a tentacle sync timecode generator on it, which was jam synced with the sound device is 633, and that'll allow us to very simply sync them up in post. What else can I tell you? Well, I have the microphone boom just here, just out of the frame, and I have on it a Rycote Softie to protect it from the wind. There's not a lot of breeze right now, but whenever you're recording outside, really you need to have some sort of wind protection, at least minimal, even for days like this, just so the wind doesn't blow across the capsule and make that distorted wind noise. Next up, let's do a little key jangling test. This is one of the more challenging tests for microphones. What you do is you jingle some keys around the microphone capsule, or around the microphone, and if you start to get distortion or any sort of clicking or any sort of strangeness that doesn't sound like jingling keys, you know that that microphone has some issues with being able to handle the high frequency sound of the jingling keys and other high frequency sounds presumably as well. So it kind of tests its ability to manage, I think, those high frequency sounds, and also it has something to do, I think, with sound pressure levels as well. So especially when we have this up close when we're doing it. So here we go. Now, just for reference, here we are in normal mode, which is a stereo recording mode. You'll see if I move off to one side here, we're still going to pick some of me up. And then as we move off to the other side here, well, there's some stepping in the landscaping. Here I am on the other side, and you can see it follows. So this is an example of the stereo mode. You can definitely hear more ambiance, probably hearing the birds a little bit. There you go. So there's an example in the stereo mode. And here's a quick sample with it in stereo wide mode. So you may hear a little bit of difference in terms of the ambiance. Birds. Let's walk around it a little bit here. So here I am off to the left of the microphone capsule, or to the camera right. And let's come to the other side here. It should be camera left to the right of the microphone, and then right back on axis again. So there's a Sanken CSS-50. Who is this microphone for? It's really a professional grade microphone, obviously, at approximately $1,800 US. It seems like a pretty high quality microphone to me. I was really quite impressed. If you find yourself in a situation where you sometimes need to record ambiances, and you want to do that in a stereo recording, this can be a good option for you. Then you can also double it as a dialogue microphone by switching it back to mono mode. Or if for whatever reason you're trying to capture dialogue in stereo and you want to get that kind of spatial effect, you can do that as well. So it's pretty versatile. That's who I think it's for. Is it for me? I'm not really planning on buying it right now. I don't record a lot of stereo. A lot of times for the pieces I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get very kind of clean dialogue. So stereo for on shotgun microphones is not usually for me. Every once in a while, the opportunity arises. So for me, it's not quite worth the $1,800, but again, I think it is a very high quality mic for those that are looking for that specific feature set. So there's a quick look at the Sanken CSS-50 stereo shotgun microphone. Hope that was helpful for you. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave those down below. And if you have not already subscribed, make sure you do that. And I'll be sure to get you more great videos on how to improve your lighting and sound for video. Talk to you soon.